Good evening and welcome to Christian Wednesdays, episode 5. I haven't put the song at the beginning of this because my laptop, it takes about 25 goes to actually get it to turn on and stay on. It's very jumpy. And I've then got to rely on myself to sort of keep going once I've managed to get the song in, and getting over that hurdle, and then carrying on without nerves for the rest. So the song I was going to include, which I'll put in the comments section, is the 2002 entry from Israel to the Eurovision Song Contest, which is Light a Candle. I have candles here. I don't know if this is gonna work. Yeah, I've got candles tonight. And I remember my grandmother saying that she liked that song back in 2002 because it is quite symbolic. She felt it was quite symbolic. She is a German, half Jewish German refugee, and she left Germany with her family in 1939. And escaped to, was the British Mandate in Palestine at that time. And so she's, I suppose was thinking immediately of a song called Light a Candle, relating to Israel as sort of a message of holding out olive branches between different sides. And I'm not sure. I think there might have been some conflict around that time as well. The reason I was choosing that song is because this week is about biblical prophecy. And as I said, these videos are only going to be 5 or 10 minutes long. They're not massively detailed. I'm hoping to go and film a documentary in Israel at some point in the near future. But one of the major biblical prophecies that's sort of widely believed as fact among Christian Zionists and Jews is that in the 1948 creation of Israel was a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. And I asked my grandma about this, and I said, what your feelings are? She said, well, yes, it was prophesied that the Jews would return to their homeland, and that also that they would come from many different places. They had been dispersed. So obviously you've just had the war, and the Jews have returned to Israel from many, many different countries in Europe and elsewhere. So it does seem to tally, and I will be posting I'll post a couple of video links in the comments box about this, concerning the actual biblical verses. There's one with Isaiah, and then we've got Ezekiel and Jeremiah as well. They predict this return of the Jews to their homeland. The interesting thing about the video with the Isaiah verses is some numerical calculations based on Hebrew, because each Hebrew word has a numerical value. And if you watch the video, you'll see that the commentator goes through all these different numbers and comes to very significant dates. One of those dates is 1881, where the Jews begin to migrate back towards Israel. 1948 is obviously the creation of Israel. The third year is 2016. And the commentator in the video that I've posted comments that perhaps this is the beginning of the end of the return of Jews towards Israel, because God says that He will not leave any of His people, of the Jews behind, and they will all return. But the other subject I wanted to talk about with this is Brexit. Because, to be honest, I was thinking, biblical prophecy, what events can we talk about? 1948 and Brexit. Was Brexit prophesied in the Bible? Is Brexit fulfillment of biblical prophecy? There's another. There's an article I will also post in the comment section about this, which mentions Tarshish, which is possibly means the United Kingdom. Fighting off an invasion of Israel by northern territories in some point in the future, which could possibly include Russia. And Tarshish and its lions, which could be the Commonwealth. There are lots of complications with this, and it's not quite as obvious or as clear as the 1948 creation of Israel. However, it's a bit odd that the 2016 date was significant, although that commentator didn't mention Brexit at all. He didn't mention why 2016 was such a significant date, other than it was the beginning of the end of this return, but he didn't mention an event of that year. Brexit, it's we don't know, and there could still be a return of the UK to the European Union. There were other problems with Brexit. Did it happen for the right reasons? Personally, I was a very, very, very fervent Remainer, not for practical reasons, but for spiritual, for ethical reasons of social cohesion. And was very saddened by Brexit. And there were lots of issues around Brexit with racism and nationalism, some unpleasant aspects to winning the Brexit campaign that happened. However, does that mean it wasn't meant to be? Does that mean that it was the wrong decision? Because the EU itself is not an innocent entity. Nothing is without flaws, and it's not necessarily based on Christian values anyway. Not that I'm not sure if the leaders of Brexit were following Christian values when they were campaigning. And I've got a lot of problems with extreme right-wing libertarianism, and the sort of motivations behind Brexit, disaster capitalism. But perhaps deeper lessons may prevail against that kind of extreme selfishness, I suppose. Disregard for struggling persons. I don't know, and perhaps the virus has taught some people, some of those politicians in that sort of niche of political, that sort of political niche, that we all have to care for each other. But possibly there is a deeper reason behind Brexit. but it's not concretely proved. That's really it. 10 minutes, just about exactly. Some interesting thoughts then, hopefully for you. And I will post those to the video and the article I was referring to, and light a candle with me. And please comment. Thank you.